But I always hold my rear trigger, my left barrel in reserve because I know chances are it's the second shot, the second barrel that's gonna kill this guy. So wait, use your time wisely, enjoy the charge, let him come, enjoy it, and kill him dead at your feet. This is a great old gun. This is a Holland 500 Dominion. Now what's interesting about this gun was made in 1906. There were very few 500 Dominions ever made. This may be one of 2 or 3 because they just weren't that many made. Anyway, great gun. I'll put it together and then we'll talk about it. It's fun to have these great old guns because it's hunting with a piece of history. Because hunting isn't all about killing, it's about what you hunt with. So now look at this profile of this gun. This is real hunting. This is a real gun, 1906. It weighs 11 pounds, 9.5 ounces. It's got a 15-inch length of pull. But let me tell you something. This measurement here, when you talk about double rifles, this is the 2 great important points. This is 4.5 inches around the pistol grip. This is your control hand with regard to the butt. And then you want the weight in your left hand. So when you throw this up, you want to feel the weight in this hand. This gun throws up. Look at this. Now, you're out there and you got a buffalo and he's going to charge you. What you never do is tilt your head. You don't put your hand in and go like this. You don't tilt it. You keep your eyes firmly on that buffalo. And that gun comes right on up to your face. And you don't move anything. Let the gun do the work. This is a great gun. This is why we hunt for moments like this. This is one of the greatest guns you'll ever see in your life. And look at this wood. That is some of the most beautiful wood. Absolutely immaculate. This gun and I are going to do a lot of work starting this year. Fabulous gun. Now, and that's with the 500. 570 grain bullet at 2,150 feet per second. It's a nice bullet. A 500 is not a big gun. I've always said jokingly that 500s, 470s, 450, 465, I've always said these are for women and small children, and I mean it. This is not an offensive cartridge. It's basically a defensive cartridge. So what's the difference? A defensive cartridge is one where you actually have to be you don't want to really go in there because you don't have enough gun. Offensive cartridge, which I will show you in just a few minutes, this is where you can take the hunt to the buffalo. You can take the hunt to the hippo. You can take it to the elephant and you can hunt offensively. Most of my charges, if you don't know this, most of my charges, I kill the buffalo or the hippo on the second shot, not the first shot. The first shot is you've got to hit him hard, you got to knock him down, you got to control him. But oftentimes, it's the second shot that I hold in reserve that actually kills the animal, not the first shot. 500 is a great cartridge. I love it. I love the gun. I had to buy the gun because I love the gun. The cartridge, fine, it's a 500. It's not a big gun. It's not a big cartridge. Now, go to the next gun. This is a new gun. It's 10 or 12 years of age. This is a Heim 577 double rifle. This gun, for a new gun, is probably the finest 577 out there today. Now, why is it? Of course, it's mine, yeah, but what makes it special? Well, when I got this gun, I had to make a lot of improvements. I had to put on a new front sight. The rear sights were all wrong. I had to buy and put on a rear sight. I had to put on a proper Silver's recoil pad. I had to put on a sling swivel. I had to put on the gold oval. I had to put on a grip cap and engrave it. And I also had to have a swivel head for the front. These don't do, you never use a swivel, you never use a sling. These are for looks. They have to have the right look. Remember, a gun has to have the right look. Now this is a 577. It shoots a 750 grain bullet at 2,050 feet per second. Now, this is becoming a big gun. There's only one big gun, and it's not this, but it's pretty big, and this will keep you out of a lot of trouble. This is an offensive cartridge. This means that with this cartridge and this gun, I can go into those thickets and I can pick a fight. And I will risk my life to go in there with this combination. I can't do it with the 500 and not with the 470. So this gun, okay, what makes it special? You throw that gun up and those sights line up so perfectly, you can't believe it. In a fight, front sight. Look at this rear sight, how flat it is. You see, you don't want a thick, steep sight. You want it nice and flat. And why? Because on running shots, you want to be able to see the animal on that side of your sight and on that side. And in a fight, front sight, all you're ever going to do is look for that front sight. If you throw that gun up and it's perfect, those sights are going to line up perfectly every time. This is 12.5 pounds for a 577. To me, this is the perfect weight. 12.5 pounds, because when I throw it up, I feel the weight of those barrels in my left hand. The left hand is the one that moves the sight, right? Throw the gun up, elbows out. You can move, you can go up and down, you can track left or right. This gun has shot plenty of charging beasts. Now, the next one. This gun is special. In so many ways, this gun is special. This is a Charles Osborne 577, made 125 years ago. It weighs 11 pounds, 15 ounces. So it's a half a pound lighter than the other Heim 577. But this gun, oh my God, the things I've been into, I've gone into, this is an offensive weapon. Same 577, okay? Same 577, but with this gun I have shot charging lion, leopard, buffalo, elephant, hippo, and this gun just lays up so perfectly, again, so perfectly. But look at that. This belonged to one of Africa's most famous professional elephant hunters of all time, Frederick Grant Banks. With this gun, Mr. Banks shot over 3,000 elephants with this rifle. He was hugely successful, and he was somebody that was the real deal when it came time for elephant hunting. Frederick Grant Banks. Now, it is believed that Charles Osborne, this is the only 577 this English company ever made. That makes it special. Now, after Frederick Grant Banks you'll see here's an ivory insert with the O and the R for Owen Rutherford. Owen Rutherford was a very famous professional hunter of the Sudan back in the 70s and 80s, and he shot many elephants over 100 pounds. This was his gun. In 1991, I attended the Safari Club show, and before the show opened up, George Caswell, the most knowledgeable gun guy in the world. George and I've known George. I bought my first gun from George in 1978. George and I go back a long time. But he said, Sully, he said, I got the gun for you. And he told me about this gun. And he says, okay, this is what you need. Well, I just finished my first year as a professional hunter in 1990. So this was the convention of January of 1991. I said, George, what is it? He told me about it. He told me about the history. And I said, well, how much do you want for it, George? He says, $10,000. I said, George, I'll buy it. Now, I just so happened, had a client standing next to me who hunted with me in 1990, and he wanted my John Wilkes 500 double that I used to shoot the charging buffalo in Black Death. And I said to him, I said, hey, Larry, you want my double? He said, yeah. I said, okay, how much? $10,000. I said, you go ahead and pay George. So my client paid George. I didn't ever see the money. I got this gun and my client got the 500. But this is an amazing gun. And look at the wood quality on this gun and look at the engraving. And yes, I did put my name on it because there'll be a time when Sullivan is no longer around. And I think it's important for history. Somebody somewhere will come across this gun somewhere, and there'll be no doubt that it was my gun. And I think that's somewhat important. Okay, so that's the 577. Now, this is the 600. This is the 600 Nitro Express. Look at the engraving, deep relief engraving, beautiful gun, side lock, extended top tang, exquisite wood, beautiful gun, beautiful elephant on the bottom receiver, excellent gold, deep engraving, and that shoots the 600. Now, this is a big gun. This shoots a 900 grain bullet at 2,000 feet per second. That's what I always loaded mine for. This gun and this bullet, you can take the hunt to that animal. The 577 wants to be a big gun, but the 600 is a big gun. The 600 is a big gun. And the 577 in the right hands, you can do whatever you want to with it, but the 600 is the real deal. And once again, I throw this gun up and these sights line up perfectly. And again, you can see how flat my sight is here. You don't want a big steep sight. You want it nice and flat. Then you've got a nice front sight so you can find it, because in a fight front sight, 13 pounds, 4 ounces, and it doesn't feel heavy. Fabulous. With this gun, you've seen it in Death on the Run, 1996, November the 6th of 1996. We got the very famous Death on the Run Cape Buffalo charge, where that buffalo comes from about 20 yards, and I don't shoot him until he's maybe 10 feet away. I hit him right on the face with this 900 grain bullet, bang him. I stagger him, I don't kill him, falls on the ground. And now with the second barrel, my left barrel, I'm shooting right down here and I go bang, I shoot him right through the top of the head. The bullet exits, hits the dirt, throws up a big mushroom of dust and dirt. That was fun. That's what hunting is all about. Hunting for me is about risk. What is life without risk? Why is it about killing? Killing is boring, but when you take a gun and you take a bullet and you go into that stuff and you say, hey, I'm going to do battle. I'm going to go fight. I'm going to risk my life for what I believe. And then when that buffalo comes, there's no timeout. You can't say, hey, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean it. Because when that buffalo grunts and snorts and makes his charge, you're only going to stop him if you shoot him in the brain. But when he's going to come, he drops his head, drops his nose, goes down here, and he comes with all of his might. And the brain is not at the tip of the nose, it's just below the boss, not even level with the eyes. And so when that buffalo charges, I never think about a chest shot. I never think about a shoulder shot. I never think, and I don't shoot early. Shooting early is wrong. If that buffalo charges at 20 yards away, I don't care. 20, 30, 40 yards, I don't care. I'm going to wait until he crosses that 10-foot imaginary boundary, that wall, that barrier. When he gets there, I'm ready, boy. I'm ready. And when he gets there, I'm going to hammer him and I'm going to smoke him. If I'm going to die out here, I'm not going to be out of bullets at 20 yards away. Hey, I may die, but I'm not going to die being stupid. I'm going to die on my terms. And my terms is I'm going to let him come within 10 feet and I'm going to give him hell. Beautiful. I'm going to hit him with that first shot hard. Probably won't kill him. My success rate on first shots isn't any better than yours. But I always hold my rear trigger, my left barrel in reserve because I know chances are it's the second shot, the second barrel that's going to kill this guy. So wait. Use your time wisely. Enjoy the charge. Let him come. Enjoy it and kill him dead at your feet.